There's loads of little damp spots in this new house I've moved to, and I was getting a little bit worried. When you put the heating on, it feels very muggy and humid. So I did a number of things. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can help your house by getting rid of those mold spots, and also the heat you do put on in your house, it'll be warmer without water in the air. Humidity is basically evaporated moisture and water in the air. I've gone and made a purchase. It's quite a big purchase, but I want to be able to get rid of this problem, and I feel like this will tackle two issues I've got. Before making this big £200-300 purchase, I went and bought a little £2 purchase. I'm going to link it in the description. I bought this with my own money, so it's not sponsored. I just want to get a real life opinion of what it's like, because everybody seems to be raving about it, but everybody that's got one has been provided one by the manufacturer. So let's have a test of this. Over the next few days, I'll compile all of these videos together. I'm going to go through what I'm doing with it. My thought process in this video will be clear because you'll see what I'm experiencing. I've got an electricity monitor on my house, so we'll see if it's using a lot of electricity. But apparently you can dry your washing in the house and put this on as well. So I'll see if that does good for me. I'll link in the chapters, so jump to the section you're interested in. I've gone through and unboxed it quickly. I've looked at the leaflets. If you're interested in reading the information booklet, like the instructions, I'll link that in the chapter. So I've gone through and shown you the book in case you bought one without it. And the moisture is high. But you'll see just while sitting here, it's gone to 62%. So I don't know how accurate this little device is, but when we turn this on, it will let us know because it'll collect the water in the bottom. This helps me to identify if I need this, because the main issue you've got is, you'll notice right now on this, it says 71%. And I put it in different locations of the house. Over 3 or 4 days, during the evening, during the day, just to see what readings it gives me, I quickly discovered the kitchen is very high moisture area. Makes sense, we cook there. The hallway is quite high. This room's high, 70 is high. They recommend between 40 and 60. And upstairs in the bedroom, it gets very high when the heating is on. So I feel like the moisture travels in the air, goes up into the loft, and then you get condensation, rolls down, hits other spots. It gets very scientific. If I can get that moisture when it's down here, using this and getting the water out of the system, will that help me? I feel like this is quite a big item and electricity wise. So what we'll do is, we're saying here, you've got a little smiley face on here, it says wet. So it's quite wet in this room. Now this device, Dehumidifier and air purifier, so it's actually got a filter in there as well, and it will prevent condensation. It's user friendly apparently. So this unit itself, I'm gonna go through what I'm doing with it. My thought process in this video will be clear because you'll see what I'm experiencing. So you already know I need one because in the room and the moisture is high. I got the bigger version, it's 20 litres, you can get 12 litres. I want to be able to put this in the center of the house, in the hallway or in the upstairs landing. Leave the doors open, see what it does. I'll show you it step by step. I've got an electricity monitor on my house, so we'll see if it's using a lot of electricity. Because the last thing you want is the money that you're saving being put on the bill, so you're paying a high bill. So overall, this is going to be like a general video of my experience with this. You might find this video is quite long, but I want to make it a comprehensive video for anyone else in this position thinking about buying it. Because you need to think about a number of factors. It's quite a big purchase in the grand scheme of things, £220-270 between that range. And this is the Arete One. There's an Arete 2 that's come out. I didn't think there was that much difference between them. Apparently that's got a fancier brushless motor, so it's quieter, and it's got LCD display, LCD touchscreen display, and a few little other things, like the flap on top kind of moves as well. So there's a few things to think about if those things are important to you, because apparently you can dry laundry in front of this, and the new one's got a pointer that you can point towards laundry. Whether you decide to get the new one or the old one, have a look at their website. The website's quite confusing because they've got lots of options on there, so I didn't like it very much. So what we're doing now is test number 1. I've taken it upstairs in the landing. I'm going to run it for 1 hour. Let's see what happens. Let's have a sound test. That's what it sounds like, and here you can see it's 461 watts, which is currently being used on my electricity meter. I started the test and the temperature was 14.8 degrees and it was 79% moisture. The unit itself was showing 69% moisture, so there's a slight variance there. Obviously it depends on how good the things are. Once it runs for a little while, it picks it up. So after an hour I came back, the temperature was a little bit higher because the weather changed slightly, and we got 16.6 degrees, and there was 59%. So 59, 69, 79, 20% decrease, and it took a litre out of water. So I took out like a full one of these, and then another, I think it was 300 or 400 millilitres. I don't like the way, you know, when you take this bucket out, you see the lid, it's got like a pouring spout, but it's not very good because it kind of comes out everywhere. So that's something to keep in mind. Test number 2 was in the landing downstairs. So straight away I did the upstairs test, and then I brought it downstairs and I put it there, and I went out, and I came back 5 hours later. Temperature was 18.8 degrees, and it went down to 52% moisture level. So the first week or 2 weeks you want to do this to see what happens, because obviously you want to get a certain moisture. I did notice that it draws moisture from the air. I have a couple of plants in my hallway, and those were lily plants, and they looked really bad, as in they looked like they needed water. So it draws water from the environment as well as like the air, so I had to put some more water in the plants. Test number 3 is laundry mode. Now this one I was a little bit disappointed with, because it's meant to be like, oh, you don't need a tumble dryer, but I did a 6-hour test. I thought we'll do it in 3 hours. Very light, you know, nothing fancy, just pillowcases there and one like a pajama which is a bit thicker, and I ran it for 6 hours, but it didn't completely dry everything, and I was hoping it'd be half a day. And laundry mode does take a little bit more electricity, which I saw on the meter, but I ran it for 6 hours, and it goes into a different mode, which means it actually goes louder and it goes to a lower humidity level target. And it ran for like 6 hours, and then I put it on time lapse and I came back. It was maybe because it's in the bathroom, so I moved it into a stand into a bedroom. You'll see I've got the dehumidifier right here now on laundry mode. I've put up a quick laundry stand and put on like loads of little mixed washing jumpers and like thick stuff, thin stuff. I want to see how long it takes to dry all of that. I'm predicting 3 hours. We're in a normal room here, so during winter it gets quite cold and you can't dry stuff. So does this act like a good option to dry your clothes? So they have got a specific feature on this. You click the button, hold it on the laundry, and it meant to like sort this out. I wanted it to be a fair test, so I put a few light clothes similar to the bathroom just to see if that works well. I thought maybe the bathroom was a little bit colder than a bedroom, so that's probably why it didn't work as well. So if you remember, in my bathroom we've got a window that doesn't have very good seals on it, so I did a separate video where I spoke about using expanding foam to fix the leaks. So thinking about that, that's how it sounds in laundry mode. I've put a quick rack up and I've put some clothes over the dehumidifier because it's got a laundry mode. I've heard online that it's better than having a tumble dryer, so we'll see if this is a good viable option, if it's cheaper. So I've gone and checked the meter downstairs, the readout. We'll see what it does. I've also put a little bit of a sellotape marker on here to see how much water is drawn out from here. Not very scientific, but just a day-to-day test. Let's see how that performs. So it was surprising. It does withdraw a lot of water, I found, and it's constantly on. But there's one key failure here that you need to think about. You need this space, and let's think about it. In a normal household, we're going to have this level of washing like 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and it's taking 3 watts. It filled up this water twice, so I had to empty it out twice, so it withdrew a lot of water. But the key thing here is who has the space to set this up in a room in the middle and have that constantly up, because when you're doing washing you're going to always have something there. So I don't know if that's going to be a good thing. I wanted to add the unboxing of the product itself at the end of the video, just so you can see how it comes and how you set it up. But at the same time, I want to give you a summary of using it. So if you're here and you clicked on the chapters, the summary of it is, I'm not sure that it's worth buying this. I'm not sure it's worth buying this because I feel like it uses up a lot of space. You have to have the space to physically have it there. You need a plug unit, a socket where you put it. So remember, I was lucky in the downstairs landing and upstairs landing of the house hallway. I have plugs, so I could plug it in. But overall, you know what? It's not a great system. Maybe having 2 small ones might be better, like one downstairs, one upstairs, because I did find myself rolling it at about quite a bit. And it did do a little bit of impact on the electricity, and you have to constantly think about when it starts beeping that it's full, you have to go and empty it out. There are elements here where you can add like a wire to it or a clip that lets it drain out into like a separate thing, but then you have to worry about where you want to lead that wire up, and if you trip on it or something, like a hose that gets rid of the excess water. So in summary, I think this unit is A, quite expensive. 2, it can be expensive to run. In laundry mode, it's quite loud. It does the intended job that it's meant to do. It does take moisture out of the air, but if you're buying it just for that purpose, I'm not sure. It's got a dehumidifier, but also a filter in there, so it actually acts like a pollen filter type thing that you can put this system in, and it takes the pollen out. I didn't really use that, but in summer you could use it for that. The laundry mode, I didn't find it to do as good, because the main downside that nobody's mentioning is for laundry mode, you have to put this in a room where you're going to put a rack up and put the laundry on, and like I showed you, constantly that rack's going to always be up, because once you dry one load after a day, it easily takes 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Then you put another load on, and like you'll have a room which becomes your laundry room, but then you've got a bedroom. If you've got the space, then it's fine, but most of us don't have an extra room just for laundry. To have this sitting there separately. So tumble dryer is easier because you could just chuck the stuff in there, tumble dry it, take it out. It's not going to be needed air drying. So overall, the unit was okay. It sounds quite loud in laundry mode. Running overnight, it's okay. Sounds like you're in an aeroplane. It's got like a hum to it. The filters were okay. You can buy them separately. The pricing of this is about £220. There's a couple of models in it. I had a look on their website. It's very confusing the way they've set it up. Like they've got different models like air desiccant and so I'm hoping this video has been useful for you. It's basically my summary of this. Is it good? You've seen in this video what it's capable of, and overall for the price you can get cheaper options, but it seems like the people that have done head-to-head tests on this find that this draws more moisture from the air, getting more water out of the air, which means it runs for less time, which saves you on the electricity bill. So it swings and roundabouts. Think about it carefully, but this has been my experience with this, and this video has given you all of that. The other video where I talked about damp and how to try and reduce it in the first place, because I found out the core reason for damp in the bathroom was the window was leaking a little bit of air. So I went through and DIY fixed that. If you're interested in that, check that out on the end screen, and I'll see you in the next video.